I'm Gary Stewart, I'm the Director of Recognised Black Heritage and Culture, and today we're here to mark the commemoration of Private A. Jack. We're here today in Hollybrook Cemetery, Southampton, to mark the actual commemoration of Private Jack. Who was Private Jack? Private Jack was a member of the British West Indies Regiment who served during the First World War. On his death, he's actually commemorated here in Hollybrook Cemetery, Southampton, as a man who has no grave.
The information that I was able to glean was that he died in Marseille. So I'm not certain whether his body was shipped to Southampton or he was buried where he fell, but I was told he died of the sickness. So there seems to be some gap between Marseille in France and here in Southampton. I can only think that perhaps his Southampton being a port, his body could have been shipped to Southampton, but that is just a surmising on my part.
Private Jack was one of over 16,000 men from the Caribbean who served on the side of the British during the First World War, as many men from the Caribbean wanted to fight and serve the mother country. Private Jack was from the Caribbean island of St Vincent and Grenadine, and on his death in 22nd of June 1918, he was survived by his mother and father. He appears to have no siblings, but this is information that we are further pursuing with the help of the actual St Vincent and Grenadines High Commission.
Southampton is a very busy port, and many people, cargo, came from the West Indies to Southampton. It is possible that members of his family could have been here, we don't know. But more importantly, this has actually made me think that I want to explore about Private Jack some more. We have a member of our community who is from St. Vincent, so I'm going to find out what I can glean from him, if anything. There's a huge black community in Southampton, so this has whetted my appetite to explore further about Private Jack.
2018 will mark the 100 years of the death of Private Jack. And it's significant that we've actually remembered him in this year, 1917, on the actual lane of the African Caribbean Memorial in Windrush Square, London, Brixton. This memorial, which was actually unveiled at the same time that we're commemorating Private Jack, represents and recognises all the men from Africa and the Caribbean who fought on behalf of Britain in both World Wars. It's important that we remember that these men were fighting for pride, and it also started to shape the political future of the Caribbean islands. The men like Private Jack should be remembered simply because they were heroes. They were heroes of the Caribbean, and they were heroes of the actual political path that the Caribbean islands would take. It is also important for us to remember the men of the South African Labour Corps. These men were treated quite badly during the First World War, but their story is another story that will be told on another day. The Unremembered Project is one of those projects that's starting to look at the history of these men. Alongside the projects that recognise black heritage and culture do, we're actually looking at the history of the First World War and the African Caribbean contribution in total. And it's for this reason that I salute Private Jack.